Hey, this is my recap of episode 5 of The Ultimate Fighter 8. Gonna have to go real fast because I have a lot of notes. Junie is restrained from entering the cage and attacking Efron after he just won. Nog says Junie's scared of his fighters. Dana White notes that if the commissioner was there, he would probably ban Junie from fighting anymore or whatever, or kick him out of the house or something, which was really a weird comment because Dana himself can do that if he really wants to. So I mean, it kind of teases at Dana's lack of want to get rid of Junie. So I mean, it just thought I'd put that out there. They did show Junie apologizing to Mir for, I put here, acting the fool. And it says Mir seems skeptical. He didn't seem like he bought it all the way. Junie expects to fight Nova and continues to get wrapped up in team wars. Silva shows up at Nog's training. I always have trouble with his voice compared to how badass he is. It's so out of place for such a, this dominating fighter. But hey, who am I to talk? Silva spars with Vader, and it resembles a cat playing with a mouse. And it just looks like Vader's doing everything he can to, do anything to Silva. And Silva's just kind of batting around with him. It's like a cat playing with a mouse. And it was fun to watch. Silva is a great guy, and he seems like he's a real good teacher. So even after Anderson Silva's done with this MMA career, he could go off and be teaching with Nog for years to come. Christoph plays with more underwear. Put it on here. In particular, Efron's, he took it and he froze it after he got it wet. Haha. It's kind of a weird theme, though, with him in the underwear. I mean, I've always heard of panty raids, which involved women's underwear, but Christoph just can't keep his hands off the men's underwear. Then they get some, I don't know where they got itching powder, but they sprinkle it on the beds and in clothes and sheets and stuff. Then Kyle from the other team, the red team, thinks the itching powder went too far and they will pay. Lots of ideas from the red team. Included something that involved shaving their own pubic hair, which I didn't really follow too much on. Just kind of unnerving there. Nog makes Elliot versus Shane as his pick of a fight. Nog's coaching Shane, and Elliot's of Mir's team. It just seemed weird that he picked Elliot first. Usually you pick your own guy first, and then you pick the other team. It's more suspenseful, but Nog does things his own way. Oh yeah, they mentioned that their team was mentioning before the picks that Nog seems to have more say in who fights who than even the team does. And I just thought I'd throw that out there. I thought that was interesting because usually on past seasons it's almost like the coach doesn't want to pick or do anything with it and wants the team to pick. Not that it's wrong or anything. It's just interesting to me. Red team rubs sardine juice everywhere on Blue's rooms and belongings and beds and stuff. This is the revenge, I guess, led by Kyle. Dave Kaplan was talking about how he actually likes the smell. I don't know if he's trying to downplay it, but it kind of sounded weird because sardines really stink. Vinny took it too far, though. He didn't like it, so he started peeing on guys' pillows. Especially, they showed us Efron's, but they alluded that maybe he peed on more pillows. One of, I think, Vinny's own teammates was talking about how it took Vinny no delay to whip it out and piss on pillows. Usually when you're around other men, your mind is kind of blocked and it takes a delay. But Vinny, I don't know, maybe he's used to large crowds defecating at the same time. Anyway, Shane's workout, he wants to keep it standing. A lot of good working out with Nog, looked good. I noted that his game plan of standing with Elliot It's smart considering Elliot's trouble to work combos against Karen. That was in the fight to get in the house. Elliot didn't work. He just went for a stinger punch, and he really didn't work combos. Elliot is half Jewish and half black, and I did not know this by looking at him. I thought he looked Egyptian or something, but I didn't think half Jewish and half black. That's cool. Mir says if he can do what he does in training in the cage, he'll have no problems with Shane. So Elliot, it's one of those mental block things where he needs to get over it, be able to bring what he can do in the training into the cage and win. Nog notices how tired his guys are and finds out about the prank war, calling it a game. He is less than thrilled with Mir and his team's lack of desire to nip it in the bud. It was really funny. Nog was really concerned about this prank war, and actually it did go too far with the peen. I mean, that is too far, but it was kind of like almost like a worried mother taking the side of her child, and he went over there to talk to Mir, and Mir was like, he's more like that college roommate's like, yeah, what am I gonna do? So that didn't go anywhere. Then Nog went back to his training camp and talked it over with his coaches, which then went into this weird, Stanky goes on this weird spiel about sardines and how he'll pay people to eat them and how he likes them with pepper. It just went nowhere. But I love Stanky. He's great. Then I had 2 pages. Ooh, that's a long episode. Nog comes to the house to nip the pranks and does. Oh, he did a funny impression of Mir. He's like, I don't really care, let them do what they want. It was real funny. Stanky gets ignored. At one point, Stanky was trying to talk to Tom Lawler and Kristoff, and they just were having none of it, which is kind of disrespectful. I mean, at least acknowledge what the guy is saying. Stanky's been in the business for so long, he has to have a lot of knowledge. He's trying to help wisen you guys up. But whatever. Elliot finally bargains a non-bed involved prank war with Nog. That's where they left it. They won't attack the beds anymore because that affects people's sleep, and that could affect fight outcomes and whatnot. So it's going to be, I think, non-bed from now on, hopefully. But Kristoff is already planning his next prank, so who knows. Oh, I just noted here, Shane Prim, the guy that's going to be fighting for Nog's team, he looks a lot like former UFC fighter Scott Smith. And now he's fighting for Elite XC. Just looks a lot like. It's weird. Alright, here's the fight. Elliot gets a hug takedown after a little flurry of both sides, which led nowhere. Then a mount. Then Shane gives his back. And this all happened in I'd say a 10-second loop. And then the rest of it was, the rear naked choke from Elliot being trying to sunk into Shane. But Shane avoided it for a long time. He rolled around. He even got back in mount again, I think. Yeah, rolled back around. Just kept on rolling for a while. Finally, Elliot gets it and taps him out with the rear naked choke. I don't know if anyone else caught this, but I saw Elliot talking to Bader, and he was talking about you and me and next, I guess the semi-final fight or whatever, the next round of fights. And I thought that was stupid. I don't think Elliot wants to fight Bader. But, hey, that's his choice, whatever, but I thought that was stupid. I say, let the bigger, try to, stay away from Bader. Try to further yourself in this thing. Maybe if you have to fight Bader, you have to fight Bader, but get some more wins, maybe. Try to avoid him for as long as you can, because he's their best guy. It's just common sense. Let's see. Elliot is pumped, and so is his team. They finally got a win, yay. I missed what was said, but Vinny got pissed at something that Elliot said, and he talked in a diary room confession about how he would beat any of his light heavyweight teammates, and I get especially they pan the camera to Kristoff and Elliot. So I guess those are the two big guys. And I don't know, Vinny just comes off as a punk in this episode. They show big grin from Junie, but pretty much he was low key in this episode. Then then they show the teaser for next week's episode. Junie gonna fight, and it will be against Rolly. They spoiled it all. Hopefully, it's gonna be a good fight. That's what I want to see out of it. But I thought that was strange. They also were talking about Rolly's jiu-jitsu credentials. Maybe they aren't what they appear. So that's gonna be interesting next episode. And they kind of went out with Nog's face happy, lit up as he's yelling into the cage. So who knows what happens? So tune in to next week, and I'm out of here. Finally, Mir's team gets a win, so it's a war now. You know, there's going to be back and forth, which is kind of interesting. Adds excitement. All right, bye.